Hey guys, welcome back to a new Battlefield 2042 video. Today was the start of the Circle of Hell event, the Halloween event if you will, and now you should see this tile here on your start screen of the game, and when you click on it you have two game modes, and I'm going to go through everything that came in with the event, and I will also go through the changes that you can see in the hardcore mode, how it affects the gameplay and the weapons and everything, in case you missed my video to the update. So when you click on the tile you have two game modes, the first circle and the second circle, and luckily by now they have changed the descriptions for it. So one of them is hardcore and one of them is the standard mode. And this was made because the map, I'm going to show you some gameplay from today's stream in the background every time it fits in. So you can see how the maps have changed. Battle of the Bulge and El Alamein are the two only maps that are available right now, but over the course of the next 4 weeks, you can see it here in the roadmap, the event will change. So in the first week we have Conquest in hardcore and standard on the two maps, Battle of the Bulge and El Alamein, and then next week Rush is added to this, and then in the third week we get Redacted added in as a third map, and we also get Breakthrough, hardcore and standard, and then in the last week we get Orbital instead of Redacted. So it kind of changes up a bit during the course of the event, which I think is pretty nice. The event also comes with an event pass, so think of it like a season pass, just shorter, and it only has 30 tiers, and these tiers are mainly filled with vehicle, weapon and specialist skins and a bit of kind of fluff, like you can see here, like player cards, battlefield coins and also XP boosts. But in general I gotta say that I think they've done a pretty good job with this battle pass. I even think that it looks better than some of the season passes we had, especially stuff like this one here. I mean, yeah, it might be too Call of Duty-like for others, but I think it looks pretty nice. And what you can unlock as well through the season pass, or no, sorry, through the event pass, it's not a season actually, it's just an event, is the M1 Garand. And this one came over from Portal from Battlefield 1942, so a classic World War II weapon. And you can unlock it at tier 15, so halfway through the event pass. And the pass is also available in 3 different versions, basically just like the season passes we had. One is the free version, so these are all the things you can unlock with the free pass, and you don't have to pay anything for it. You just play the game and earn XP, and then you will unlock these tiers. And then there's a premium pass that I also have right now, with which you can unlock all of the available tiers, of course, and in addition you get this legendary skin for the advances right here. And this premium pass is 500 battlefield coins, so half of what the season passes were. But what you can buy as well is a so-called accelerated pass, and this will instantly unlock the first 15 tiers of this battle pass. So you will get instant access to the M1 Garand if you instantly want to unlock it, and of course also to all of the tiers that were before it. Just one thing you should know, you have to restart the game after buying this accelerated pass, only then your tiers will unlock. I had this as well and I was wondering why it's not unlocking, and then someone on stream said, hey, you just have to restart the game. So I did that and then everything was unlocked. The drop of bitterness with the accelerated pass though is that you can only buy it with real money. You cannot buy it with battlefield coins at all, so if you still have coins left, like I have like 1,400 coins, I can still not buy the accelerated pass with it. You have to buy it for real money, and it is $10 if you don't have EA Play or are subscribed to Xbox Game Pass or Game Pass PC. If you are subscribed to this, it's $9. So it's basically half of what you had to pay for an Ultimate Pass back in the seasons. What we have as well, of course, are missions. So these have returned as well for 4 weeks, because the event runs for 4 weeks until November, I think the 26th. And the missions are basically the same that we already know from the seasons. So play rounds, and when you play rounds of Conquest, it doubles the mission progression, so you only have to play 1 round. Then vehicles destroyed as infantry, teammates revived or healed, objectives captured or neutralized, health replenished to teammates, kills and assists with vehicles, multi-kills performed. Remember, multi-kills is everything that is 3 enemies or more. So you have to kill 3 enemies either at the same time or shortly after one another, then it counts as a multi-kill. So I think these should be pretty much self-explanatory, except maybe for the multi-kills. If you're new to the game, you might not know how many kills it is, but I think I explained it already. Then we also have 2 new bundles in the store. We have this pass right here. You can also buy it through the store. And then we have the Dark Doctrine, or however it's pronounced. We have this legendary skin for Falk, and then we have a new skin for the VHX, one for the M1A5, and a new player card, and a skin for the P90. I actually think they did a pretty good job with these skins in general. I'm also prone to this kind of design, so everything is kind of spooky. And the other bundle we have is this one. I don't even try to pronounce it. And that's a legendary skin for Liz. Then one for the PBX45, one for the Ponthawk, another player card. It looks kind of strange, to be honest. I don't know, like a deer in headlights. And then we have a skin for the Type 88 LMG, so another skin for a Vault weapon here. Now, for a quick overview of what has changed in these hardcore modes, first of all, there is of course friendly fire, so be careful who you're shooting at, but there's also friendly fire damage reflection, which means when you kill more than 3 friendly soldiers, no matter if this happens accidentally or on purpose because you want to troll them or anything, 100% of your damage will start to reflect back to you. So when you would kill your teammate, you would actually kill yourself. But you have to be really careful because this also applies to vehicles, no matter if you're a tank driver or a pilot or a gunner in one of those vehicles. You cannot just spam your tank shells or explosives into a crowded area and hope that you hit the right persons. Then the weapon damage has also changed a tiny bit. For most of the weapons it's still the same, but for SMGs and sniper rifles it was slightly reduced to only 0.8. So they were probably trying to avoid that you have too fast of a time to kill on long ranges with those weapons, especially with the snipers, because you cannot really snipe across the whole map with them. But what they changed is the soldier health. This is only set to 60%, and the health regeneration speed is also down to 10% of what it usually is, and that's what causes a much faster time to kill at the end and this hardcore feeling that you die and kill a lot faster. What they did as well is magazine discarding, so when you reload your weapon, all the bullets that remain within the magazine will be discarded and are not automatically saved for later like it usually is. And they also restricted the weapon system, and this is actually something I really need to get used to again. So what this means is that the assault class only has access to assault rifles, shotguns, DMRs and the Ghost Mech crossbow. The engineer class only has the LMGs and lever action rifles such as the GVT from the tactical class. Then the support class gets SMGs and shotguns, and recon class also has the sniper rifles, shotguns, DMRs and a lot of stuff from the tactical category as well. When it comes to vehicles, they were made a little bit more resilient, so they have a maximum health of 1.4 instead of the default 1, but their health regeneration is completely disabled. So you need to rely on engineers for repairing, or you use the repair system upgrade if you already have it. There were also some changes made to the UI and the HUD elements. As you can see on screen, apparently there is no minimap, there are no name tags for enemies, you can only see the red dots. You can still spot them though and mark situations with this red flag. The crosshair was disabled and the hit markers as well, which is probably the most confusing thing for me personally. So you have to completely rely on the audio hit markers to know if you hit someone or not. And the sound was also slightly changed for more realistic, immersive experience, at least that's what they wrote, but honestly I could not really find much of a difference to the normal sound design. So I don't know if they really changed much there. What happens as well is that when you are downed, you end in a crawling state, so you can try to get behind cover, and it also means you have to finish your enemies when you killed them, so you only down them and then you have to finish them off so they can't get revived. What we also don't have, and what I actually think works pretty well, is that there's no traversal sprint and no sliding, and that feels like a game changer, to be honest. I mean, I'm used to not being able to slide from Delta Force already, but I think Battlefield also feels a lot better when not everyone is able to slide and traversal sprint and has this kind of wild Call of Duty movement. I haven't thought that I would miss this, but now that it's in this hardcore mode, it actually feels pretty good. It slows down the game a bit, but it doesn't make it feel clunky, and it feels like the old Battlefield games again, and I think that's actually a good thing. What I'm a bit on the fence with though is that the modes have double the tickets for both teams, so it takes forever to play a mode of Conquest. The time to capture and neutralize flags was also doubled, which also takes forever, especially if you're alone on a flag. And the specialists have uniforms now that follow a certain color palette for each side, so one team is set to more of a green beige color palette and the other team to red tier 1, and that works pretty good as well. And if you like to tinker around with Portal, you can now also find all of these modifiers that DICE used to create the event modes, and even more of them over in the Portal editor, so for everyone to use. And so far the impressions of the event are pretty good. The maps look great and have a nice atmosphere, and I honestly would like to keep them like this, especially since we finally have a night map with El Alamein, and the hardcore mode in general has its moments as well and is a nice change. It's just not something I would like to play every day. But like I said at the beginning, you don't have to play hardcore if you don't want to. You can also just get into the standard playlist. But I think you should at least give hardcore a try. Vehicles also feel not as overpowered as I thought they would be. The only problem are snipers that are camping at the edges of the map, but I think that's a problem in all hardcore modes in general. The M1 Garand is also a nice addition to the arsenal and fits pretty well onto the existing roster of marksman rifles. What's a bit disappointing though is that there is nothing available in terms of attachments except for 3 optics. And that's it. There is nothing else. There is no barrel attachment. There is no underbarrel, which probably makes sense for the M1. And there's also no magazine. And I wish that they would have given us at least something for the magazine and for the barrel. The battle pass, I've said it already, is pretty well made in my opinion, and especially the weapon skins look better than some we had in 4 seasons before. So overall, I think it's a pretty nice event, especially considering that the game is at the end of its life cycle and there's probably only a handful of people still working on it. We also got a few other changes that are not connected to the hardcore modes of the event or to the event in general. You might have seen it already that you got an update today, and this came with the event of course and with everything that was changed, especially in the hardcore mode, but it also came with a few changes to the M1 Garand to fit it within the already existing roster of marksman rifles. So the damage model and the number of magazines were increased, the recoil has been lowered, and recoil as well as the accuracy are impacted by the player's stance now. So when you're crouching, the weapon is more accurate, and when standing and moving, it's the least accurate. But I think it fits in pretty well, and it's still a nice weapon to play, and it has a nice pling. And what was also changed is the UH-60, the helicopter that we got a few weeks ago in a former update, and this got some smaller tweaks to bring it in line with the other air vehicles of the game. So for example, the minigun damage was increased from 18 to 20, the repair system is now more efficient and heals 25 HP in 5 seconds instead of 10 HP in 8.6 seconds, and the gravity pull when you are near the ground has been lowered a bit. And what you also get now, but that's not connected to the helicopter, is when you throw back an enemy grenade, it now gives you scores, so you get points for throwing them back. And one last point, if you play on PC, but I think this is also happening on consoles, you just have to check it out. I haven't checked it yet. But if you play on PC and you are on Steam, there is a massive franchise sale for Battlefield right now. So you can really save a lot of money here if some of those games are still missing in your library, especially the old ones. I can recommend to get them. And that was it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to check out the event over the weekend or whenever you want to if you haven't done it yet. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe, and I'm gonna see you in the next one. I'm the Catwoman and you are awesome.